Okay? All right, can I have a look at that? Let me look at, no, the textbook. Right. Right, number 26 was 4 open brackets x minus 5 close brackets is equal to 7 minus 5 open brackets 3 minus 2x. Okay, that's it. So what we're trying to do is to see how to get this problem sorted out. Well, the first thing we will do here is to multiply the 4 inside the brackets on the left hand side, and we will multiply the minus 5 in brackets on the right hand side. Okay? So what I'll do is say 4 multiplied by x, and then I'll do 4 multiplied by minus 5. Okay? 4 multiplied by x is 4x. 4 multiplied by minus 5 is minus 20. That'll be equal to 7 minus 5 by 3 is minus 15, because I'm doing this minus 5 multiplied by 3 first, and then I'm going to multiply minus 5 by minus 2x. Okay? So minus 5 by 3 is minus 15, and minus 5 by minus 2x is plus 10x. Okay, so what do we do now? If we observe 10x, the terms at x, 10x is on the right hand side and 4x is on the left hand side. Now we must determine which side we want to end up with the x's on. And in order to do that, we have to look at the side where the x term is the largest initially. Good? That is on the right hand side because 10x is larger than 4x. So it means we are going to what we're going to do is eliminate all the x's on the left hand side and end up with x terms only on the right hand side. That's what our objective is now. So how do I eliminate 4x from the left hand side? What's the opposite of plus 4x? Minus 4x. So this is plus 4x here. So what I'm going to do is minus 4x. So this 4x minus 20. What I'm going to do is minus 4x. Right? I'm going to minus 4x on the left hand side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the right hand side now. Okay? So by design, we're removing these two here. We wanted to remove it, so we're taking it out. And we're going to number minus 20 is equal to, what is 7 minus 15? Is it 8 or minus 8? Minus 8, because we take the smaller from the larger and keep the sign of the larger, which is minus 8. 10x minus 4x is 6x. If we have $10 and we give away $4, we end up with $6. So minus 20 is equal to minus 8 plus 8x. The next step is to remove this minus 8. Because remember, we want to end up with all the x terms on the right hand side and eventually simply get the x term by itself. So what we do here now is we're going to do the opposite of minus 8. What is the reverse of minus 8? Plus 8. So on this side, because I want to eliminate the minus 8 and end up only with the 6x, I'm going to add 8 here. And once I do that on the right hand side to maintain the balance, to keep the equality, I'm also going to add 8 on the left hand side. Whatever I do here, I must also do it here. But there's a reason why I did this. The reason is that this and this must cancel out. So I end up now with 6x. On this side, minus 20 plus 8, subtract the smaller number from the larger. That means 8 from 20, I'll get 12. But then, what else has to happen? Keep the sign of the larger. So I end up with minus 12 is equal to 6x. What's the next step after that? I want to end up with x. So I observe that this is 6 multiplied by x. So I have to say 6x over 6 to remove this 6 because I have to divide here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay? What happens is that if I divide minus 12 by positive 6, what will I get? Minus, because it's unlike signs. This is negative, this is positive. So when we divide or multiply unlike signs, the result is always negative. So the answer will be negative 2. And then these two will cancel. 6 into 6, 1. 6 into 6, 1. I'll get x. And if minus 2 is equal to x, it's the same thing as saying x is equal to minus 2. So the answer is x is equal to minus 2. Any questions there? Anything? Okay. Who had asked about this? Any questions? All right, so it making sense there now? Okay. All right, so we go down to anybody writing it down still? All right, go ahead. Tell me when you're through so we could do the next one. All right, write as quickly as you could so we could get through as many as possible. And let me know when you're ready again. Right, so we're looking at 0. That's number 19, right? So we're looking at 0.3d is equal to 1.8. They wanted to solve for d. All right? Very easy. The only thing that might be giving you a little worry is the fact that it's a decimal. But a decimal is a number. That's all, right? It's just a decimal. So it follows the same rules that we would do for ordinary numbers, right? For the other numbers. So 0.3d is equivalent to 0.3 multiplied by d equal to 1.8. You agree? And the opposite of multiplying by 0.3 is doing what? Dividing by 0.3. So what we will do is we will divide by 0.3. And what's the rule? If we do it on the left hand side, what do we have to do on the right hand side? Same exact thing. So we do the same exact thing. Right? This will cancel with this. You write back d. And punching on the calculator 1.8 divided by 0.3, you should get 6. How I work it out, move this one place to the right to get 3. Move that one place to the right to get 18, because remember you have to divide by a whole number. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So d is equal to 6. Any problems so far? D is equal to 6. Don't worry, that is a decimal. Just follow the same rules. Okay? Alright, don't forget, for those who may be new, if there are any new people in, the classes that went before where we did this for the first time are online, right? And you could get it simply by going to YouTube and typing in Mr. Downer's math classes, and they're itemized by date. So you'll see when we did this for the first time, you could go through it and review it, okay? If you're having any challenges. What's the next question? Number it here. Okay, so we're looking at another one now. We're looking at 1.2x minus 0.8 is equal to 0.8x plus 1.2. Correct? All right. So how we deal with this one now? Well, we deal with it in the exact same manner that we were dealing with the others, except that these now have decimals in it. So my question to you is, between 1.2x and 0.8x, which one is larger? 1.2x. Therefore, our objective will be to have all the x terms end up on the left-hand side and to remove all the x terms from the right-hand side. Okay? So I'm going to remove the 0.8x from the right-hand side. So I'll write back the left-hand side, which is 1.2x minus 0.8. Right? On this side, it's 0.8x plus 1.2. But I'm going to remove the 0.8x by minusing 0.8x. Because we know we don't want them on that side. We want all on this side where it's larger initially, correct? Right. But if I minus 0.8x on this side, what do I have to do here? Same thing, right? That's why I left the space. Because I'm now going to minus 0.8x. So 1.2x minus 0.2x is really 1.2 minus 0.8 is 0.4x. Right? Just think of the numbers first. 1.2 minus 0.8. It'll give you 0.4. You can put it on your calculator. And because it have x attached, you leave the x there. Then minus 0.8 is equal to the 0.8x and the minus 0.8x will cancel. That's what we wanted. That's why we did it. And you end up with 1.2. So what do we do now? We're going to get rid of the minus 0.8. Right? And then we're going to get rid of the 0.4. How do we get rid of the minus 0.8? Add it. You do the opposite of what is there. What is there is minus. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus, which is plus. And if I plus 0.8 here, what do I have to do on the other side? The exact same thing. Okay? The exact same thing. So what happens here is that this cancels out with this. The 0.8 minus 0.8 cancel out with plus 0.8, which we did on purpose. And we add up the 1.2 to the 0.8. Okay, so I'm going to take this now and bring it up a little higher so I could be a little more comfortable writing on it. Right? And we say 0.4x will be equal to 1.2 plus 0.8 is how much? 2.0. 1.2 plus 0.8 is 2.0. So this is 0.4 times x. And I want to reverse 0.4 times x, which means I must divide by 0.4. This means 0.4 multiplied by x, so I'm going to divide by 0.4 now. And if I do it on the left-hand side, I must also do it on the right-hand side. That's why I'm dividing both sides by 0.4. So this will cancel with this to give me x, to leave x by itself. And that is equal to 2 divided by 0.4. If I move this one place here to get 4, I move that one place to get 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the answer is x is equal to 5. Make sense? Right. Okay, write it down. Okay, so we're going to solve this one. And the first thing we're going to do here is recognize that the left-hand side contains fractional elements, which means there's a numerator and a denominator, which means there's a fractional element. Numerator, denominator. On the right-hand side, we just have a numerator. There's no denominator. So what we do is we create a denominator by simply saying 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. Now all of them are fractional, and we could use the technique that we learned in the last class, which is we find the LCM of the numbers below, or the denominators, which is 4, 5, and 1. And what is the LCM of 4, 5, and 1? 20. So it means we're going to take 20 now and multiply it by each term, each element here in turn. So we're going to say 20 on the outside here, multiplied by x plus 3 over 4, minus 20 again, because we're multiplying 20 by each element, x minus 3 over 5, and then we're multiplying by 20 now, by 2 over 1. So far so good? Right, then we're saying 4 into 4, 1, 4 into 20, 5. 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 20, 4. And of course, nothing can cancel on the other side. So then we come back now, and let's work out now. You have 5, and this 5 is going to multiply by the x plus 3. But remember, if we're doing that, the 5 has to be multiplied by the x, and it also has to be multiplied by the 3. So we get 5 by x, which works out to be 5x. 5 by 3, which works out to be 15. Minus 4 by x is minus 4x. Minus 4 by minus 3 is positive 12. That is to say, the minus 4 here multiplied by the x, and the minus 4 multiplied by the minus 3. That's how we did that. Then we come back here now and say 20 by 2 is 40. Okay? So the next step now is to group like terms. So we're going to group the 5x and the minus 4x. We're going to work those out now. What is 5x minus 4x? 1x. And 1x is the same thing as x. So I'll just write back x there. And 15 plus 12 is how much? 15 and 12 is 27. Okay? And that would be equal to 40. So now all we have to do is to remove the plus 27 on the left hand side to get x by itself. What's the opposite of plus 27? Minus 27. So all we're going to do is minus 27 here on the left hand side. But because it's an equation, we have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're also going to minus 27. So plus 27 cancels out with minus 27 on the left hand side. So we get x is equal to 40 minus 27 is 3 or 13? 13. Okay, any questions? Clear? Okay. So take it down. If you don't have it, you can take it down quickly. Okay, so what's the next one? Just 1 second. Yes, sir. Yeah, so what's the next one? That's be number what? 38. Right, so let me see 38. Okay, so 38 has 2x over 15